Om Sri Sai Ram.
Sai Ram.
गणानान्त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनशृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामवित्र्यवतु गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ हृदाकाशे सदा भान्तं शान्तमानन्दरूपिणम् ज्ञानभानुमहं वन्दे सद्गुरुं सत्यसायिनम् ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु आपमापामपः सर्वाः आपमापामपः सर्वाः अस्मादस्मादितो मुतः अग्निर्वायुश्च सूर्यश्च सहसञ्चस्करर्धिया सहसञ्चस्करर्धिया वायव्यश्वा रश्मिपतयः मरीचानो अद्रुहः देवीर्भुवनसुवरीः पुत्रवत्वाय मे सुता महानाम्नेर्महामानाः महसो महसस्वः देवीः पर्जन्यसुवरीः पुत्रवत्वाय मे सुता ॐ Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Sri Sai Ram. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hari Om, Shalom, Sai Ram, Namaste. We are studying the Aruna Krishna, which is in Krishna Yajurveda, Taittiriya Aranyaka, chapter 1. This particular hymn, as we completed the first two mantras in the first Anuvakam, is invoking Apaha. Apaha, as in the context of the ritual, water is used, and in the context of spiritual, Apaha means that which is all pervading. So, in the context of this particular ritual that is invoking the collective presence of Agni, Vayu, Surya, it invokes presence of water from everywhere and from all the places. And this Aruna Ketuka Chayana, the yajna that is done, the water is placed in small pots, and then the ritual is done, first invoking what is this greatness of this water. So in the first two mantras, two aspects are invoked as the divine waters, divinified presence of the water, or water as divinity that sustains the worlds. Devi, Devihi, Bhuvanasuvarihi. And the second aspect that is invoked is Devihi, Parjanyasuvarihi, that which sustains the clouds and is the source of the clouds itself. And these, in context of describing this water, the water is now described as Marichatmanaha Adruhaha, that which has radiance as its fundamental principle, that which is protected by the sun rays, that which does not hurt, means basically the water vapor being described there, which is carried by the winds as the horses, and that water is now the one that sustains from the clouds, is what we have just learned. And the reference to the refrain of Putravatvaya me Sutta does not literally mean give me children, but it also means that for those who want that way. So it's not that it's excluded or anything like that. What you have to remember is the Vedic hymns or the mantras will give you the exact phalam as you intend it. Period. If you do these mantras, I want children, you get children. I want wealth, you get wealth. I want this, I want that. Yes, you will get all those things. But it just does not mean that. When you go higher and higher in your intent, and the content is filled with the intent, then what will come back is exactly that. You want to get pleasures? Yes, mantras will give you pleasures. You want to give pursuit? Yes, they will fulfill your pursuits. You want to do for going to higher worlds, Swarga and all those places? Yes, you will go to those worlds. Yes, the three P's are fulfilled: pleasure, pursuit, purpose. But that is not just what about mantras is. The ultimate purpose is, the ultimate purpose is Brahma Jnana, knowledge of the Supreme Self. That is what these mantras really, that's why they are divided into Karma Kanda and Jnana Kanda, Supreme Wisdom. So if your intent is all these other things, yes, putravatvaya me suta means may I be blessed with progeny. But putravatvaya me suta, from a dharmic perspective, is that it is not just me. Me has expanded. My life is my message. Expansion is my life. And when that center shifts from your individual selfish ego, I, to the collective I, in that collective I, collectively may dharma prevail. Collectively may dharma continue. Collectively may it be sustained. That is the essence of Putravatvaya Me Sudha. And by the way, we are going to capture the questions that are going to be posted also. Yesterday there were some very good questions, so we are going to put what we call Aruna Krishna Q&A, and those will be actually also captured through classrooms. If you get a question that is significant and you want an answer to it, if you are already part of the Google Classroom, you can post the question there, and then those questions will also be captured. For what reason? Putravatvaya me sutta. For posterity, for continuity of dharma, so that everyone will be benefited by it. Huh? And don't, if there are no questions, that means you are not really studying. Let me assure you that also. Now, don't post all junk questions kindly, that also I have to be careful. Don't post, what happens with this mantra, will I get my green card or not? All that questions, no. It has to be class, it has to be related to the study material. Whatever we are studying, that material you can post questions. Okay. Now let's see where is my buddy Sham. Sham, today you are chanting. I will. I'll give you the opportunity to share the screen. Okay. Let Let's chant the second mantra. You can chant the second mantra. Where is Shama? Shama.
Sir, I'll share
Saira.
my screen, Uncle.
Yes. Please share your screen. And okay, while he is doing that, uh, important announcements. Next second Saturday of each month and fourth Saturday of each month. Second Saturday of each month we'll have Maharudra Abhishekam. Fourth Saturday of each month we'll have Devi Mahatyam Parayanam. And this is a collective offering. And this collective offering hopefully will involve the entire globe, people coming from all the countries that are part of the Veda study and pursuing the study. They don't have to be part of Veda study. Anybody, everyone can join. And this is the reason why we are doing it collectively. And we have shifted the Ekas Rudra Abhishekam to 6:30 California time. So Shama, can you go to sayatrudram.org website, and then if you go to the calendar section, yes, go to calendar, yes. And if you open this calendar, hopefully these timings are showing up. All the events of Veda study are here, including practice sessions. You don't have to send me a WhatsApp message, what time is the class in Netherlands, etc. You can just go there. Hopefully it will show up in your local time. If it does not, you can go to add to calendar, scroll down 1 second, and then you can say add to calendar. And if you add to your calendar automatically, it will show up in local time. Now let's click on this monthly Rudrabhishekam icon there on the 12th. Yes, just 1 second so that I don't have to explain and put it in a message. Now, here you can actually go to more details and it will show the Zoom link, how to sign up for the roster. That is one place you can find it. Now we are going to see the entire calendar of Sham Rajshekaran. No, don't do that. Okay, Sairam. I don't want to see your appointments. Go back to Sai Atrudram. Yes. And then go to announcements. Announcements. Yes. And in the announcements, click on Ekas Rudrabhishekam, that post. Yes. And then it should show up the Zoom link. You can also sign up. This is the roster. And if you click on the roster, please click on the roster. You can come together and sign up as a group for whichever round you want to lead. Everything is present. All the information is there. sayatrudram.org. Everything is there. Now go back, learning materials. In the learning materials, if you go to, yeah, Veda study learning materials, if you click on that, then you click on Aruna Krishna. Yes, all the PDFs related, and then click on Anuvaka 1 to 6. Yes, there you will see the Russian, Telugu, English, Kannada, all Tamil also is there. And scroll back up. And then if you click now Padapatha, which is individual words as we are studying. And here also you will have breakdown of individual words that we are going to study during the Aruna Prashna. And for you, if you want to jump to only Anuvakam 4 or something, you can go to the top and click on the content. You can scroll to whichever Anuvakam that you want. So everything is enabled, all prasadam of Swami. This doesn't belong to any individual. All of this is prasadam of Swami. And this Padapatha, now we have also put in different languages. For sure, Telugu, Devanagari are there, and we will add the Padapatha in other languages also. Okay, I hope everything is clear. So next Saturday, we won't have the class. We'll start 6:30, the Rudrabhishekam, so that people in East Coast and other parts also have a reasonable time. So including India, they can, it'll be 7 o'clock in the evening. So it's a reasonable time for Indians also to join the Ekas Rudrabhishekam. It's a little bit inconvenient to the people in California, those that cannot get up early, but otherwise we are good. We will sacrifice our inconvenience for the sake of collectiveness. Jai Sai Ram. Okay, look, go back up. Let's now, I will just chant the mantra and then we'll get started here. अग्निर्वायुश्च सूर्यश्च सहसञ्चस्करर्धिया वायव्यश्वा रश्मिपतयः मरीचात्मानो अद्रुहः देवीर्भुवनसुवरीः पुत्रवत्वाय मे सुता महानाम्निर्महा मानाः महसो महसस्वः देवीः पर्जन्य सुवरीः पुत्रवत्वाय मे सुताम्. Now we'll go to the third mantra now. Apashnushni maparakshaha. Apashnu. Apashnushni. Shni. That's a tongue twister there. Apa, that is SNYU. That is the syllable. So it is sh, na, u. So that is shnu. Shnu. And the next one is shni. Shni. That is a sha, na. Sha, ni. So that is shnu. Shni. Shni. Cerebral. Shni. Apashnushni maparakshaha. Now that is repeated. Apashnushni maparagham. Apaghram apadevi ritohita. Let's take those 4 lines together and let's chant now. Apashnushni maparakshaha.
अपश्न्युष्णिमपारक्षः अपश्न्युष्णिमपारक्षः.
Excellent. Very good. Perfect scale, perfect chanting. Apashnushni maparagham.
अपश्न्युष्णिमपारघम् अपश्न्युष्णिमपारघम्
apaghramapacham apaghramapacchavartim.
apa agramapa apa agramapacchavartim
Apaghramapacchavartim.
apa agramapacchavartim
Apadevirito
apa devi rito hita apa devi rito hita
apashnushnimaparakshah apashnushnimapargham apa agramapacchavartim apadevirito.
om apa snyushni maparakshaha apa snyushni mapargham apa agramapacchavartim apa devi rito hita.
Excellent. Very good. One more time, please.
Sorry, uncle.
One more time, please.
One more. Okay.
Hmm.
Apa snyushni maparakshaha. Apa snyushni. Apa snyushni maparagham. Apa agramapacchavartim. Apa devi rito hita.
Very good. Can you bring up the words now? We'll look at the words within this mantra. Apa ashnushnim. Therefore, with the dirgham, it becomes apashnushnim. Apa ashnushnim. Apa rakshaha. Apa ashnushnim. Apa ragham. Apaghram. Apa cha avartim. Apadevihi itaha hita. So now these words are broken, are split only to understand the perfect meaning of each of the word and how they connect together. But when you are actually chanting, because you know the words, you should not split them. Like some people are chanting in Devi Shama, in the Shamapana Stotram and all, they're splitting it because they know. And also when they're chanting Chamakam in the Anuvakam where the Yajnana Kalpatam, there they split the Atma. You should not split like that. Where there is Sandhi, you should chant as Sandhi only. Like for example, Vayur Yajnana Kalpatam Apano. See, Vayur Yajnana Kalpatam Apano. You should not say because you know it is the Apano. You should not say Vayur Yajnana whatever. Yajnana Kalpatam Apano. You cannot chant like that because there is no break there. So they say Atma Yajna. No, you should not say Atma Yajna. Mahatma Yajna Kalpatam. So in Veda mantras, the syllable should not be split because it is a syllable. It is a vibration. So here also, because you know apa plus ashnushnim is and then apa raksha, you cannot split the words because you know the words. You have to chant them together only. For understanding purposes, yes, you need to understand each word so that you better connect to the mantra. Here in this mantra, The apa and hita have to be, is a refrain that is used, even though hita is at the end. Apahita, apahita, apahita ashnushnim, apahita rakshaha, apahita ashnushnim, apahita ragham, apahita aghram, apacha apahita cha avartim, apahita devi itaha. That is the way to understand the sentences. Is too much information for you all? Huh? Maybe it is too much information for beginners, but for those of you who have been chanting Vedas, this is the next level of sadhana. That's why you say you never stop learning. Never stop learning. So what he's saying is, oh divine waters, where is that? Okay. Devi, right? There is the Devi there, right? The Devi is coming in the next one. So again, reference is to the divine waters. So itaha means from here. From here, itaha is from here. Apahita means eliminate, remove, eliminate. Apahita. What is to be eliminated? Ashnushnim is eliminated. Rakshaha is eliminated. Again, Ashnushnim is repeated. The meaning is different. And Ragham apahita, Aghram apahita, Avartim apahita. Those are the words. Apahita means eliminate, we already said. Ashnushnim, Ashnushni, Ashnushni. That is the way it is pronounced. Ashnushni. In this word Ashnushni, there are two words. Asni, Ushni. Asni, Ushni. So Ikara and Ukara together will become Shnu. Shnu. Asni, Ushni. Ashnushni. Asni means the who is performing the yajna, the ritual. Ushni means the heat or the fire. There are two types of fire that need to be eliminated for the yajamana or the performer of the yajna to continue the yajna without interruption. What incredible! They have thought through every aspect of what are all the hindrances that come for the yajna. What's the first hindrance that come for the yajna is that fire that is unnoticed can be very dangerous. When you are doing a yajna, you have to, or even when you are doing a, not yajna, even when you are lighting a lamp in your altar, you have to be careful because fire accidents can happen. And especially with ladies, if they don't watch their pallu or whatever they call it in English, I don't know what they call it in English. And then it will catch fire immediately if it is some silk sari. It will destroy the person. Same with the yajamana, with the angavastram. You have to be careful how the angavastram is around lamps, how the angavastram is around fires. So we are saying apa hita ashnushnim. Please eliminate the fire that burns the materials of the yajamana. The whole house can get on fire, and it happens. And similarly, when you're doing the yajna, you have to be very careful with watching the Homakunda fire. Uh, you all know how that fire is when we do Chandi Homa or when you do the Mahapurnahuti. It's an amazing experience, but you have to be extremely cautious and careful. Therefore, please eliminate any fire that burns the Yajamana and his belongings. Apahita ashnushnim. Apahita rakshaha. Yesterday I talked about it as in the context of Rama Raksha Stotram. Raksha means all the negativities. Negativities that harm people. Oh, this negativity is the most incredible demon associated with people. For no reason, you shout at people, and your voice raises, and you create a mess around you, and everybody is watching you, and it's nonsense. You shout and you do all this nonsense. That is the most important thing to be eliminated in a yajna. People talking loud in Sai center should be asked to get out, especially yelling and shouting at others. Apaha, apahita rakshaha. Now you say, why did the word raksha use, sir? I thought raksha is protection. No. Why you are using it for a negative quality or a rakshasa? Because from positive qualities, you don't need to be protected. From negative qualities only, you need to be protected, isn't it? Protection comes. Why do you need a police officer? Only when there is a thief, only when people don't follow rules. Similarly, apahita rakshaha means negative qualities, eliminating negative qualities itself is a protection. Apahita rakshaha. Again, the second word, ashnushnim apahita. Ashnushnim again is coming again. What is this ashnushni, ashni, ushni? Same meaning, but in a different context. Ashni is the performer of the yajna. Ushni is the heat. Now, this time, the heat of the body. Eliminate excessive heat from the body of this yajamana. What is the extra heat of the body? Is called fever. So don't give this yajamana, eliminate anything that obstructs, hinders, like a fever, infections, all those kind of things. Please eliminate those things also, so that the yajamana can do the yajna without interruption. Now here apahita is not related to the apaha mantra, right? So you have to be understanding that apahita asnushnim aghram ragham apahita. Ragham means all sins associated with the body. Ragham apahita. Aghram apahita. Aghram here, aghram is breathing. Aghram apahita. There, what it is meaning is in the context of the performance of the yajna. Now, as I said, this particular hymn is all about the ritual. So therefore, it is the ritual associated hindrances are being prayed for elimination. So the other thing that is eliminated is aghram apahita means if the yajamana is not going able to chant the mantra in a perfect scale with perfect continuity, how? Because of breathing problems. Aghram apahita. Take away any obstacles associated with breathing. Not only breathing, but it actually means it means lack of energy in chanting. Lack of energy in chanting. If you have allergies, you cannot chant with energy. Then what will you do? Everybody, some people will be chanting, Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraja, Om Namaste Rudramanya Bhavutota Ishabhe Namakha. Now you cannot chant in this case. Now what you have to do? Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraja. Om. There is no energy in chanting. There is no energy in chanting. So eliminate lack of energy in my breathing and other sense organs. And then avartim apahita. Avartim. Avartim is poverty, dearth of material to do the yajna properly. So some people have the material, but they don't want to offer it. Miserliness. Some people truly don't have the ability to do the yajna with proper material. And in that case, they have to find what is called pratyamnaya. Please eliminate poverty. That is a major obstacle in performing the ritual. Now, those are the 4 lines. Okay. Chant those 4 lines again, and then we'll go to the next lines. Om.
Om. Apashnyushnimaparakshah. Apashnyushnimaparagam. अपाघ्राम अपाघ्रामपचावर्तिम् अपदेवी ऋतोहिता.
Very good. Thank you. Devi itaha hitaha. So the word Devi came. So the prayer is to the Devi, the divine energy, to eliminate all the obstacles associated with the performer of the yajna. Now let's chant the next four lines. Vajran Devi Rajitagashcha.
ॐ वज्रं देवी रजितागश्च वज्रं देवी रजितागश्च.
See how perfectly he is chanting? The Devi, I was watching how many matras he will give duration. So exactly two matras. All these, this matruka sadhana, when you're doing, it is to pay attention to the long vowels and the matras. Matras means duration associated with them. So when it is Devi, so he's saying Vajran Devi Rajita Gashcha. Okay, next. Bhuvanande Vasuvarihi.
भुवनन्दे वसुवरीः भुवनन्दे वसुवरीः
Adityanaditin Devim.
आदित्या
Aditi also is down. Adityanaditin Devim.
आदित्यानदितिं देवीम् आदित्यानदितिं देवीम्
Yoninordhva
योनिनोर्ध्वं योनिनोर्ध्वमुदीषत योनिनोर्ध्वमु ध्वमु योनिनोर्ध्वमुदीषत.
Very good. So next four lines. Vajran Devi Rajitagashcha Bhuvanande Vasuvarihe Adityanaditin Devim Yoninordhvamudishata. One time.
ॐ वज्रं देवीरजितागश्च भुवनन्दे वसुवरीः आदित्यानदितिं देवीम् योनिनोर्ध्वमु योनिनोर्ध्वमुदीषत.
So if you practice two or three times at that speed, then when you are chanting fast also, your swaras and your pronunciations will be perfect. But you have to practice exactly at that speed. Now let's go into this mantra. And the words within those. The words within those are Vajran, Devihi, Ajitan, Cha, Bhuvanam, Deva, Suvarihi. Now, in chanting these mantras, wherever there is a Bhuvanam, for example, in Telugu, they'll say Bhuvanam Deva Suvari. You should not chant like that. It has to be Bhuvanan Deva Suvari. Bhuvanan Deva, not Bhuvanam Deva. Especially Telugu people only. They just split it like that. Uh, Pachamyannam chaturvedham they chant. It's incorrect. Pachamyannam chaturvedham, because the Anunasika has to come with the vowel. So you have to pay attention to the Anuswaras and what is the consonant that is following that Anuswara. So, but when you look at the each individual word, it is Bhuvanam, Devasuvarihi, Adityan, Aditim, Devim, Yonina, Urdhvam, Udishata. You have these words also now in Telugu also it is there now. In Devanagari and Telugu also, if you go to that folder, Pada or words, it is there. So again, Deva, Deva, Suvari. Deva means all the gods. Suvari means the sustainer. Sustainer of all the gods. Now, this is referred to now, sustaining all the gods. What were the previous two that are sustained? That's where your mind has to catch. What are the previous two that are prayed to the mother to sustain? Yes?
Bhuvana Parjanya.
Agni.
Bhuvana Parjanya. Correct. Exactly. It is protecting the worlds and also sustaining and protecting the clouds. Here, sustaining the gods. So, sustain the gods. How do you sustain the gods? Because you are the yoni. You are the yoni means yoni here. The word yoni actually means the source and the cause and the origin of anything. That is what is the meaning of the word yoni. Yonina as the source and the source and origin of the entire universe. uh, there is also Bhuvanam Deva Suvarihi. Okay. Bhuvanam is the worlds, Deva are the gods, Suvari the sustainer, Devi or divine waters, Ajitan make them invictus from enemies. Ajitan. How is the Ajitan happens? When you hold up Udishata, up means Urdhvam, Vajram, the way the Vajrayudha, the thunderbolt, and when Aditya, uh, the Surya himself, Aditi, the mother of all the gods themselves, you are the one that is protecting all these things and sustaining all these things. Very powerful mantra. Now you are asking the question, oh, what is this Devi that is sustaining even the gods? So Vajran here referring to the Vajrayudha of Indra, the god of all the god, the lord of all the gods, the Puranic Indra only. Aditya means the Lord Sun. Aditi, the mother of all the gods. Bhuvanam, the whole worlds. Deva, all the gods, are their victory. Ajitan, their victory is held up and held. You are the source of all these beings. Therefore, you please help them, hold them up invictus. Udishata. Is it useful to learn meaning like this with every word? I will put my best effort to go into every word. We haven't done this for even Rudram. I haven't done this like this. But I think we did that for Rudram in the Rudra Jnana Yajna. You will see when you go into the PDF, you will see the entire word. Every word is explained. And when you understand that, and now when you combine these words, then you will now go back and chant the whole thing. If you go back and chant the 4 lines again, now it will make sense to you. Vajran devirajitagascha Bhuvanandevasuvarihe Adityanaditin Devim Yoninordhvamudishata. So next mantra, next 4 lines. Shivanashantama bhavantu.
Shiva Nashyantama Bhavantu. Shiva Nashyantama Bhavantu.
Divya apa oshadhayah.
Divya Apa Oshadhayah. Divya Apa Oshadhayah.
Sumrudhika saraswati.
Sumrudhika Saraswati. Sumrudhika Saraswati.
So the nuance in chanting the mru, you should not put a holding on the mru. It's not mru, it's a mru. Sumrudhika saraswati.
Sumrudhika Saraswati. Sumrudhika Saraswati.
Mate vyoma sandrishi.
Mate Vyoma Sandrishi. Mate Vyoma Sandrishi.
Another beautiful mantra. I'll chant the whole thing and then we'll go into the Shiva Nashantama Bhavantu Divya Apa Oshadhayah Samradika Saraswati Mate Vyoma Sandrishi. One time.
Shiva Nashyantama Bhavantu. Divya Apa Oshadhayah. Sumradika Saraswati. Mate Vyoma Sandrashi.
Very good. Amutaha Sutau Shodhayo Dvecha. That is the ritual. They take the Oshadhis and then they also worship the Oshadhi. Oshadhi means the herb and all the material related to the incense, the gandham, all those aspects of the Oshadhis. Oshadhayas samvadanto somena saha. Here they chant the Oshadhi Suktam. All the herbs that are used for the ritual are worshipped after that. Therefore, you see that sutram there, what is done in the ritual. So they worship the waters. Now they are worshipping all the Oshadhis that are used for the yajna. There ends the Anuvaka, first Anuvaka of the Aruna Krishna. Now let's look at these last 4 lines in the first Anuvaka and the individual words associated with them. Shiva Naha Shantama Bhavantu Divyah Apah Oshadhayah. Divyah Apaha, the divine waters. May the divine waters, Oshadhayah, all the herbs associated material, Shiva, be auspicious, Shantama, be pleasant, Bhavantunaha, to us. That is the meaning. Very simple. Shiva, Naha, be auspicious to us, Shantama, and also be pleasing, Bhavantu, may they be pleasing, Divyah Apaha Oshadhayaha. Divyah, may the divine waters and the Oshadhis. May they be auspicious and be pleasant to us. That is the meaning of it. Now, what are Oshadhi and how are they related to this? Why are we using Oshadhis? Oshadhayaha means those which take away any blemish or impurity. That is Oshadhi. We are calling that as a medicine, yeah, isn't it? Oshadhi is medicine. Oshadhi is a medicine because it takes away some imperfectness associated with wellness. Therefore, it is Oshadhi. Oshadhi that is not just a one that actually cures. Oshadhi in the context of these herbs are also that which prevents lack of wellness. Prevention is better than cure. We don't take medicines because we are sick. Uh, we don't take oshadhis, we take medicine. Western medicine is taken for what purpose? For curing. You get a headache, you take Tylenol. You get allergy, you take some other Claritin, whatever. So you need an imperfection to be corrected, and that is what Western medicine is for. But the oshadhis are not for correcting illness. The oshadhis are for promoting wellness. What are those? Those bring vitality to the body. How do they bring vitality to the body? They bring vitality with auspiciousness and pleasant here means say energy. So then the next mantra is Sumrudika Saraswati Mate Vyoma Sandrishi. Now this Saraswati is interpreted in many people as the goddess Saraswati. Ayyo Rama. This is not goddess Saraswati that is invoked here. Some people say this mantra is for blessing of Saraswati. No, no, they haven't really understood the rest of the mantra to know what this means. That's the other part that we are trying to do here, brothers and sisters. When I explained who Indra is, who explained who Brihaspati is, who who is that bird, what is the spiritual significance of it, then your mind will not get stuck only in the lower level of worshipping an idol or worshipping a deity. You will begin to see the spiritual principle, the essence of what that word is. And that inspires the mind from Saguna to Nirguna. You have to read Gita Vahini to understand even those words, what Bhagavan has said about Saguna worship, Nirguna worship. Saguna, Rama as that idol is Saguna. But what is the Nirguna aspect of Rama? When you connect to the Nirguna aspect of Rama, then the Saguna becomes only a stepping stone to go to Nirguna. And the Nirguna will come down to Saguna. When you think you are the body, it is Saguna. When you think you are the senses, it is Saguna. When you are the Supreme Self, it is Nirguna. So therefore, here Saraswati doesn't mean the mother Saraswati who is playing Veena. Sarasvati means that which flows. Sarayu, Sarayu Nadi, Sarayu. Saras means that which is a, a pool of water. Saraswati means that which is flowing. So what is this mantra saying? Sumrudika. O divine waters that give us happiness. Mrida. Mrida, you all know? Mrida no Rudro. Mrida means happiness. Sumrudika, that which gives happiness. That which gives happiness, O divine waters. Now that there, the divine waters, I forgot to mention when we were talking about how the gods are held up and what is the source of even the gods. The source of even gods, there apaha means apnoti iti apaha, that which is all pervading is apa. So therefore the supreme consciousness which is love is the source of everything. That is the meaning of apa there. So here apaha as water. Now this is very beautiful. In Sandhya Vandanam mantras, I have explained all of this stuff. What is water on earth? What is water in the clouds? What is the water up above? This is what when we do the marjanam, huh? When we do the marjana mantra after the apohishta mayo bhuvaha, हिरण्यवर्णः शुचयः पावकाया सुजातः कश्यपोया स्विन्द्रः अग्निया गर्भन्धधिरे विरूपास्तान आपश्यगुष्यो न भवन्तु यासान् देवादिविकृण्णन्ति भक्षय्या antarikshe. Yeah, those mantras are actually talking about the meaning of apaha. Love that flows on earth is water. Love that is sitting in the clouds is the cloud rain. That which is up above sustaining the gods is the supreme love. And that supreme love is Amrita for gods. In atmosphere, it is the cloud, it's the water in the clouds. And on earth, it is the water that is flowing in rivers, lakes, and ponds. This is love that is flowing. So yesterday, when sister was asking the question, isn't prana the most basic thing? Why are we not invoking prana before you invoking apaha? So apaha is that all-pervading consciousness, which is the supreme love. He is the fundamental source of the gods, all the beings in the atmosphere and the earth. Therefore, prana is not fundamental. Love, the supreme consciousness, is fundamental. That's why yoninaha urdhvamudishata. I don't know about you all. I am blissed out, totally blissed out. Because for me, chanting these mantras is not taking a book and putting a check mark that I know Arunam. For me, for this body and mind, the personal sadhana is how does this transform from this lower level to the higher level? How does this, how does this take me from tamasoma jyotirgamaya, mrityorma amrutangamaya, asatoma sadgamaya? If the mantra is not enabling that, when you chant, it will serve a purpose only to fulfill whatever is the content of your intent. If your intent is, I want to be discriminating the real from unreal, oh mantra, please help me. These mantras are incredible oshadhis. They are incredible oshadhis, supreme medicines. And now, when these rivers are flowing that are giving happiness to all the beings on this earth, these rivers of yours, te means yours, ma, te, ma, here it is, te, your lakes and your ponds that are the cause of the happiness, te, sumridika, saraswati, ma, vyoma sandrishi, ma sandrishi, vyoma. Ma means may we not, may we not. Ma sandrishi, may we not see vyoma, any spaces. What a beautiful mantra. What it is saying is may all the lakes and ponds and rivers do not have any spaces in them. That means what? They are full and they are flowing and they are sustaining this world. Lot of people have started jumping and starting learning Arunam. That is good because they're learning the words and how to pronounce. But this learning and this chanting will have a different experience when you are sunk into the wisdom of the hymn. And then you have to ask the question, is Saraswati here? How is Goddess Saraswati to do with this mantra? Nothing. The Goddess Saraswati, that is nothing to do. It's just a word. But when your awareness is limited to only that literal meaning of that word, who is saying if you substitute for Goddess Saraswati, the mantra doesn't make any sense. How is Saraswati not enabling me to see any spaces in the lakes and the ponds and the rivers? Huh? What is Saraswati? Sumridika, Saraswati, Mate, Vyoma Sandrishi. How is Saraswati not helping me? How is Saraswati helping me not to see any spaces? But this the te is referring, te means yours, means the te is addressed to Apaha, not to Saraswati. So that is the inner experience when you meditate on these mantras. When you chant with the meditative, contemplative mode, that's when mantra starts chanting you. I am not going finding the meaning of any of this stuff. When you actually focus your mind and then your intellect towards this, and then say, you show me what you are, not what I interpret with my knowledge. You show me who you are. That is asking for grace of the mantra. The mantra is now saying, hey, you want to see who I am? This is who I am. Then you are not interpreting with your own prejudiced meaning or limited knowledge. The Supreme Mother, with her grace, the Veda Mata, reveals the actual meaning of the mantra. That's exactly 8 o'clock now. So we are completed the first Anuvaka in these classes. On Tuesday, we'll have practice of the first Anuvaka. And that practice, what time it is, when you go to the calendar, you will know all of that stuff. And the practice session are 2 times. The same practice session happens 2 times. First one is morning 7 o'clock California time, which is evening 7:30 on Tuesday for people in India, and you can calibrate based on that. There are only two important points in the world map. One is California, the second is India. So, so I will refer to only those two time points. The good news is the India time never changes. The stupidity is California goes up and down. Because we are the far west and we are really the wild west. So, so the wild
In
west,
between other
uh,
spaces.
yeah, those we really don't care. You anchor only in the self, Jivatma and Paramatma. Jivatma is in California, Paramatma is in India. So, so what I was trying to say is, so that will be Tuesday 7:30 India time in the evening, which would be convenient for most of the Europeans and Russians and South Africa, etc. So then we also have a session evening 6 o'clock on Tuesday, which will be Wednesday morning 6:30 a.m. for India. So that's the practice session. If you do not if you do not come to practice session, you are wasting your time learning all this. I'm honest with you. I'm being very sincere. If you do not come to practice session and you think you have learned the mantra just coming to 1 hour class, you are kidding yourself. Don't kid yourself. Take this as a steadiness in study. Don't simply think that by repeating some words you have gotten there. Repeating those words, it will only give a certain effect on the body, but it doesn't, and certain effect on the mind, but it does not take you closer to divine consciousness. Entire ritual is only useful for chitta shuddhi, purity of body and mind. It does not give everything that you do as japa, tapa, worship, yajna, yaga, all these things. They only give you chitta shuddhi. They won't do anything else unless you connect to the self knowledge of these mantras. Then only, that is the, even not me saying this, please don't miss it, this is not my personal opinion. Ishavasya Upanishad, you go read that Upanishad. This is exactly what it will say, exactly what it will say. All the avidya is associated with performing rituals, chanting mantras. They are only useful for chitta shuddhi. To get to the self awareness and knowledge, your intellect has to raise collectively, dhiyo yo naf prachodayat. And that's why in the Jhana Shloka of Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba, Hridakashe Sada Bhantam Shantam Anandarupinam Jnana Bhanum Aham Vande Sadgurum Satya Sainam. We are eternally grateful to this Bhagavan who is the Jnana Bhanu. You take any discourse of Bhagavan, he doesn't talk about anything else other than Brahmajnana. Supreme knowledge, supreme wisdom, how that would transform you from the asat to the sat, from unreal to the real. That's the reason when you come to the practice session, if you are a perfect chanter, when you come to the practice session, you chant understanding the meaning of it. Then, while other people are practicing, you are like, ah, yeah, what did we learn about this mantra? Then your mind turns towards continuous learning. So take this practice session seriously. May Bhagavan bless us all to be in, as I say every time, Bhagavan is the cause, He is the action, He is the doer, He is the doing, He is the done and the undone. May He bless us all to be perfect instruments in His divine mission. ॐ यदक्षरपदभ्रष्टं मात्राहीनं तु यद्भवेत् तत्सर्वं क्षम्यतां देव नारायण नमोऽस्तु ते विसर्गबिन्दुमात्राणि पदपादाक्षराणि च न्यूनानि चातिरिक्तानि क्षमस्व साईश्वर अपराधसहस्राणि क्रियन्ते हर्निशं मया दासोऽयमिति मां मत्वा क्षमस्व साईश्वर अन्यथा शरणं नास्ति त्वमेव शरणं मम तस्मात् कारुण्य भावेन रक्ष रक्ष साईश्वर हरिः ओम तत्सत् श्री साईश्वरार्पणमस्तु स्वस्तिः प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्याय्येन मार्गेण महीं महिषाः गो ब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Many thanks to my perfect chanter buddy, Sham Rajashekaran. He is such an incredible inspiration, very young, no exposure to any Sanskritam, nothing, but he chants with such perfection in intonation, pronunciation. Thank you, Sairam. If there are any questions, we will briefly capture those. Post them also on the chat. Okay. Sairam Shekharji. I can't read all of them. Okay, Srividya, what's your question?
Sairam Shikhaji, so you were mentioning about yelling, negativity as form of yelling. So I think there is a little bit of confusion in people's minds that it is okay to yell if it's righteous anger, if it is righteous yelling, where one thinks they need to yell to send the message, or it could be because that is what they have learned watching their elders or their surroundings, that you have to shout to get your work done. And the third aspect is that they don't know a better way to communicate. They feel that's the only way that, they know how to communicate something. So, um, how does one differentiate in oneself and in when they watch another person that, hey, this is what is there, that's what they know, they don't know anything better, kind of thing, right? So, just wanted to get some inputs from you on that.
Yeah, so there are three levels of yelling, what I identified from your question, no?
Yeah.
Okay. It's very beautifully articulated. You articulated it very well. When you observe your circumstances, especially when you are young and people around you are yelling only to get their things done. Because yelling, unless you yell, nothing happens. Therefore, you yell. Uh, So then what happens is yelling becomes a part of a way of your own communication, that unless I yell, these people won't listen to me. That is how your mind is programmed about yelling. It's a way of getting attention. And if your body and mind are constantly looking for attention, it's a way to get attention. Okay. Then there is a second aspect that you identified, that truly when the other person is incapable and unaware, to wake them up, you have to throw a bucket of cold water on their face. And therefore, that shock of yelling makes them a, become awake. It's the second type of yelling. Then there is a third type of yelling that you identify, which is self protection. In defense, to protect yourself, you would have to use some mechanism to protect yourself, therefore, you shout. Like, for example, when some animal is attacking you, you won't be standing there and you will be saying, "Oh no, please don't attack me. I don't want to be attacked." You shout and you say, "Hey, get out of here," right? So, third type, self defense is one thing, attention is another thing. And then you truly don't know how to communicate, and you think the only way to get your way across is to yell at other people. Did I summarize those three things correctly? Okay.
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Okay. So, what is the reason why you yell, your voice syllable raises when you talk to people? What should be the reason? Because the other person is unable to hear you. So, what? So that means the other, why do you have to shout when the other person is very far away from you? Isn't it? Physically speaking. When somebody is so far away, you shout, "Hey, I'm calling you." If that person is right in front of you, you don't need to shout, no? So, as the distance between the two entities is increasing, your syllable level, this is what Bhagavan has actually given me this beautiful spiritual insight. As the distance between two individuals increases, your decibel level rises and you start shouting at each other because you can't hear each other. But the point is, you have to ask logically, why do I need to shout if the person is right in front of me? Huh? This is the important question. And those people that unnecessarily shout at others, and I don't want to call their names, please listen to this carefully. That means you don't have love. You don't have love. Swami said, if you see God in another person and you treat them as Swami, do you yell at them? Do you shout at them for any reason? So Swami said, you don't even need to talk to me because I'm as close as your own heart. So the only way you communicate with me is in silence. You don't even have to open your mouth. So as closeness of two hearts increases, you need to use the voice also as communication. So only as the distance between two hearts increases, your decibel level increases, and you are very far away from each other. That is the spiritual context, physical context and spiritual context. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, it partially answers it.
Okay.
Um, the other half of the question is also how do how do you deal with it when someone is
Mm.
yelling at you, right? Like
Yeah. That is very, very
and
important question. Yes.
and
It's
you
a very
also
tough, it's
how
a very tough
does
question, Ma. It's a very tough question
yeah.
because it's a very tough question because we deal with it even in size centers. What to do with these people? You can tell them, hey, stop coming to the Sai Center because you're disruptive. I'm using Sai Center as an example because that's the place where we feel Swami is there and we still behave otherwise. And therefore, how do you deal with those people? Do you abandon them? You cannot do that. Do you tell them stop coming to? You cannot do that. So how do you transform these people? What do you deal with them? One first way of defense, first way that you deal with them is you stop talking to them and interacting with them. Cut them off completely. Cut them off. Don't have a conversation. Don't even look eye to eye. Do not engage. Do not engage. Okay, that's even that doesn't work. What do you do? Even that doesn't work. What do you do? Swami also very beautifully gave the answer to that. What he said, this was back when I was in Central San Jose, and he said, don't take any of that energy upon you. Come home, put your head on my feet, and then I am the one that will take away all that negative energy from you. Otherwise, you will get burnt. So, one spiritual exercise you can do is you can't deal with that person, it is bothering you. Go put your head on Swami's feet and very simply say, Swami, this negative energy does not belong to me. You are the only one that is capable of taking this negative energy. Please take it off from me so that I become sane. Okay. Second solution. Third solution, which is even more supreme. He said, even if that is not working, every day in your meditation of Gayatri or Gayatri Japa, put that person in front of your eyes and do Gayatri Japa every day. So the whole point is that you and your sanity is not affected by the negative behavior of another person. No, that's the whole point you are driving at. So first principle is do not engage. Second principle is put the head on Swami's feet. Don't combat with that person. Just don't even bother telling them, hey, you should not do like this. Right? Because they are not in a, they are incapable of even understanding what it is. Incapable. So when somebody is incapable and do not even have that awareness that such behavior is unacceptable, what is the point in engaging with them? They won't listen anyway. In fact, they may become more aggressive. Who the hell are you to tell me? That's what they'll say. Huh? Who do you think you are? Why are you telling me? So they become more negative. Then the second aspect is offer it to Swami if it is bothering you. If you truly transform that person, pray for that person, do Gayatri. And Swami said only two things will happen. Their intellect will turn around towards light or they will get burnt in the fire. Only two things will happen. In either case, that's not your, that's not what you are praying for. Okay. You are not asking them either to be burnt or transformed. That is not what you are praying for. Because you are incapable of transforming that person as an individual. Only thing that can transform that person is the light. And the light descending, Tejasvina avadhitamastu. Tejasvinaha avadhitamastu. That those are the practical solutions. But don't take it upon yourself to transform anybody. That is his job. That is Swami's job. We are incapable. And when I read Phyllis Crystal's beautiful
Yeah.
experience in dealing with the hijackers when their aeroplane was hijacked and taken to Pakistan, and she did not know what to do. What can she do? She is a woman. She can get up and say, "Hey, what you're doing is wrong." They'll shoot her. She can't tell hijackers what you are doing is wrong. She cannot yell at them. She cannot say anything. What can she do? Then she remembered the Swami's advice of chanting Gayatri. And she meditated with them as the primary focus of that light to descend upon them. That's the power of Gayatri mantra. Tejasvinaha avadhitamastu naha. To us, may light descend upon us and stimulate our intellects. So until that intellect is stimulated in those people, they will not become aware. They are only operating with senses and the lower mind. So the intellect has the dhiyo yo naf prachodayat. So then what you do is she started chanting Gayatri with those hijackers in front of her. Then within half an hour, they gave up hijacking and the plane came back to India. This is a real example. This is a real thing that happened. Phyllis Crystal has shared this in her satsangs. Okay, Sairam. Sorry. Okay. Are there any other burning questions? Yes. Yeah. Burning means
Saira,
not burning. Burning. Okay, Sairam.
Saira, Anna, so when we were talking about these rituals, you always mention, right, whatever is happening outside should happen inside. So from that point of view, I was thinking, I mean, you have always been a filler and a guide. So when this thought came, I mean, when you explained to us that about avartim, which is remove the poverty I mean, give us all the materials or remove the poverty so that we get the material for performing the ritual. So I was thinking I mean, there should be a constant yagna happening within us, right? So from that point of view, I was thinking, what could that poverty be like within? So I was thinking, first of all, maybe give me some time. I should not be poor on time. Also give me, don't lose my mind. So give me a proper mind, give me a proper body, and don't give me darkness, give me light so that I'm rich with all these things, and of course a heart. Would that count, all these things, to remove the poverty within, to perform this yagna inside?
Okay, there are only three things required to do a perfect yajna. One is time, second is energy, third is the material resources, really like in wealth. It's very simple. Whether you do outside yajna or inside yajna. For doing the inside yajna, that material resource as much is not material, as meaning, is physical material, and dearth of material is not the poverty, because you are doing an internal yajna, so that doesn't count. So only two things are primary aspects. One is time, energy, and the concentration and the contemplation required to do that internal yajna. There was a beautiful story about a divine soul, one of the Nayanars, who, you know, was was a very poor person. But then he had this intent or sankalpa that he should build an incredible Shiva temple. And so every day in his mind, he was building brick by brick this amazing Shiva temple in his mind. Atmatvam Girijamati Parichara Prana शरीरं गृहं पूजाते विषयोपभोगरचना निद्रा समाधिस्थितिः संचारः पदयो प्रदक्षिणविधिः स्तोत्राणि सर्वागिरो यद्यत् कर्म करोमि तत्तदखिलं शंभो तवाराधनम्. This is yajna. Atmatvam girijamatihi parichara prana shariram gruham pujate vishayopabhogarachana निद्रा समाधि स्थिति संचार पदयो प्रदक्षिण विधि स्तोत्राणि सर्वागिरो यद्यत् कर्म करोमि तत्तदखिलं शंभो तवारा. This is internal yajna. If you study this shloka, you understood what is internal yajna and what is the poverty associated with each of them. So this Banive, this Nayanar, I'm forgetting his name, and then he built this incredible
Pusala.
temple.
Pusalar Nayanarana. Pusalar.
Ah,
Pusala.
Pusala.
Hridayaleshwara temple is the temple. And
Very
In
beautiful. See now,
Chennanur, in Tirunelveli.
who is
The
talking?
temple is in Tirunelveli.
See, very good. I typed that in the chat. Everybody will understand that. See, I only know the principles. I don't know the physical place. Please forgive me. I'm not that knowledge about it. So that Nayanar, when he built that incredible temple, and the temple, it has to be inaugurated. No, Muhurtam has to be set. And in parallel, this Pandyan king was building an incredible Shiva temple, physically building an incredible. So outside ritual is happening, at the same time inside ritual is happening. And this Pandyan set a muhurtam for opening of the physical temple where they are saying it is present. And then he prayed to Shiva. Shiva came in his dream and he said, sorry, da, I have already committed for a muhurtam set for another temple. I cannot come. My presence is taken away for a muhurtam of another. Now you may ask the question, Shiva is all omnipresent. How can he be present only when? No, no, no. Shiva, when invoked by a devotee to come and inaugurate a temple, he will be physically present. And then what happened? This Pandyan king was surprised. So, Bhagavan, where is the temple? I also want to come because I want to have your darshan. Can I come to the inauguration of that temple? Yes, yes. That temple, he told the exact, coordinates, GPS location. And then he said, you go to this place. There is a beautiful temple. Let's go. He said, oh, this is only few kilometers away from my fort, from my palace. I never heard of anybody building a temple. So he jumped onto the horse and he went and he goes to this small hut in which this Nayanar was present. And then he called him and he asked, oh, king has come. What can I do for you? Said, sir, Shiva came in my dream and said that there is a temple inauguration happening on certain day. Where is the temple? And he said, this is the location. And this Nayanar was in supreme bliss. And he said, oh, Bhagwan, you have taken this temple I have built in my heart. And you have proven. Now he is seeing how Karunara Samudra Bhagavan is. He wanted the king to know that a temple can be built in your own heart, and for which if you do inauguration, God will come and will be physically blessing that temple. So where is the poverty? Hello? Where is the poverty? The poverty is in your heart. The poverty is in your head. The poverty is in your hands. So for any of these yajna, when you really know the physical yajna, whatever is your divine sankalpa, and if it came from a place of utmost purity and in love for God, that shall be fulfilled. So the poverty is in your own heart. Don't stop your heart to flow in love. Don't let your head be taken away by other things that depletes your presence to God. And let your hands not be depleted of serving others who are indeed God, and physically you are serving them. So hands in service, head going inward, heart in one with God. That is the essence of internal yajna and resources required. Jai Sai Ram.
Thank you.
Okay. Another. Oh, he typed Hridayalishwar temple in Tirunenvar. Okay, that is the temple.
And similarly, seeing the reference about not having spaces in lakes and ponds is also not is to have this continuous, not to have gaps of separation in a non-dual way. Is that what?
Oh my God, I was hoping somebody will actually ask, sir, how is it not Saraswati, the goddess? What does the word Saraswati mean? What is the internal meaning and the spiritual meaning of that? You see, I did not think about this very honestly. Only when this question came up, then it suddenly struck me. Saraswati, Sivana Shantama Bhavantu, Sumrudika Saraswati, Ma Te Vyoma Sandrishi. This Saraswati is the I am consciousness that is continuously flowing. And therefore, this continuous flowing of I am consciousness, it is all the time present and all the time flowing. When you see gaps in this I am consciousness, Vyoma Sandrishi, Ma Sandrishi Vyoma, may I not see gaps in that I am consciousness. They all pervading all the time, flowing I am consciousness. That is what is called Saraswati. And therefore, Apaha being the love, that love flows as I am. I am is Saraswati. The love is Apaha. So, O divine love, may you not have any gaps filling this I am consciousness. Therefore, may I be the I am ever flowing Saraswati, the I am consciousness. Very beautiful. Thank you, Da Shakti, for bringing.
Anna, ground us here. When
Huh?
bring us to the runway on a day-to-day basis of how to avoid that gaps.
Ah, bring us to the ground, bring the concept to percept. It is already there. You have strayed away from it. Your mind has strayed away from it. It is already there. How it is already there? When somebody calls it, hey, iPhone, what are you doing today? And how do you start the sentence? Hey, what are you going to do today? Weekend, no Sunday. What are you going to do today?
I
How do you
am.
reply? I am.
I am.
I am going to the gym now. Oh, that's a very
No,
hard thing to.
Anna, how do you not have the gap when someone yells at you?
Oh, how do you not have the gap when someone else? No, you're still stuck on the yelling, huh?
No, I'm just trying to bring it to the runway because that is the practicality what we
Okay.
run into.
What created the gap between you and the other person? Huh? That's what you have to ask. You have separated yourself, and your I am consciousness is stuck with your ego, and it is not flowing. Therefore, you are yelling at other person. And now the listener that is affected
Yeah.
by it, the listener that is affected by it, uh, then what Swami said very beautifully, and this was shared by Brother Ravi Teja, that Swami materialized a picture at Swami looking at Swami.
Hmm.
And then when Swami looking at Swami, you have two things to say. Is the person yelling at me, is that Swami? Ah. Uh, if the
And that,
person, if that person that is yelling at you as a Swami, then that person will not use foul language. That person will not unnecessarily abuse you. That person will not do anything to obstruct your dharma. That person will still, like when Swami is shouting at you, Swami is only doing it in the context of correcting you. He has no selfish agenda. It's not an ego driven yelling. If you notice that that person is not grounded in love, know that that is not Swami yelling at you. Sairam. Okay, we can stop yelling at each other now. Okay.
Sairam, Sairam brother.
Yes, Sairam.
I was just thinking that, as you said, if the other person is Swami, or Srividya said that the person is doing maybe like he learned it. That's the only way to do it. Then
Yes.
in that case, you just if you are loved, then you are just being more compassionate. That you understand that that person is coming from that
Correct.
background. Then
Correct.
the compassion is also part of your love, which is
Correct.
whatever label, whatever. But
Correct.
at least you are more compassionate.
Correct. And then you try to have a rational conversation with that person. And then you say, hey, this is why you are doing this. Is there a problem? What is the cause? All of that stuff. And then you listen to the person genuinely to understand where they are coming from. And if that is, if still they continue to behave like that, if they continue to behave like that, then you know that they seriously have a problem. Then you tell them, please go see a psychiatrist or a counselor. Huh? Please do that. And that may help. What is the source of your behavior? It can be a behavioral disorder. Nothing wrong with that person, but it is simply a behavioral disorder. And many people don't even recognize that they have a behavioral disorder that is pre programmed from childhood, because they could have been abused that way, because they could have been. Now, I'm not going into all the psychological as I'm not a professional psychologist. I'm only sharing a perspective here. So then you at least tell them, hey, have you considered this possibility? And if they still continue to behave like that, and it affects you, your own sanity, then you have to refrain. That's what I was saying. Okay? Okay, Sairam. Enough of counseling now. Let's go back to any other study relay. Why did we even get into that? Oh, negativity. Uh, apa shnushnim apa ragham. Apa, okay. So apaha, apahita, eliminate. Eliminate is the apahita. Apahita, that is the today's lesson is apahita. Eliminate. What should eliminate? Apaha should eliminate. How does apaha eliminate? Because it is love. How does love eliminate? Love is the oshadhi to everything, the medicine. Now that is the internal spiritual application of the entire mantra. Substitute now with, oh, goddess of love, please eliminate this, please eliminate this, please eliminate this. Then the love itself becomes Shivaha, auspicious, Oshadhayaha. It also becomes the medicine or the cure or the prevention. And that is the inner meaning of the spiritual inner application of the mantra. Jai Sai Ram. Okay, so you can also post your questions on the Google Classroom, and if they're related to the study material. And I know there was a question about Ramayana, and Dania posted a question about Ramayana, which is not related to the class, but because we are studying, well, yesterday was Ramanavami, I felt compelled to answer that. So if you have other questions on the meaning of the words or how you connect to that internally, those are all valid questions. Please post on the Google Classroom. Make the study really do the study for you. Let you chanting mantra, mantra chanting mantra, mantra chanting you means that your behavior, your character, everything is now reflecting the mantra. That is mantra chanting you. One young adult from South Africa asked me from Ujjain, what does it mean mantra chants you? That means when your own habits, your own behavior, your own character, when that is automatically reflecting outside, that means mantra is chanting you now. Otherwise, you are only chanting mantra. Oh, who is that? Yes, he's there.
Oh, Sairam uncle, I
Yes,
asked that question.
you
Yeah,
asked that
I
question.
remember that.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah. No, I still think about it. Yeah,
you are the beautiful young adult from South Africa I was
yeah,
referring to. Thank you.
yeah. No,
So, Sarashin, no, sorry, what's your, I forgot.
oh, it's Sashin uncle.
Sarshin.
Yeah.
Okay, Sairam.
Right.
Sairam, Jai Sairam. Thank you. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की
Jai